In the heart of the Arabian desert, where the sun burned mercilessly and the sands whispered ancient secrets, a child was born who would one day illuminate the entire world. His name was Muhammad, born on a Monday in the year of the elephant, in the sacred city of Mecca. But even before his first cry echoed through the narrow streets, fate had already marked it with trials that would test the strongest of souls. His father, Abdullah, a noble young man from the Banu Hashim clan, had passed away months before his birth, leaving his mother Amina alone to carry the weight of grief and hope. The night of his birth was filled with wonders. The idols of the Kaaba trembled and fell. A light shone from his mother's womb that illuminated the palaces of distant empires, and voices from the heavens announced the arrival of mercy for all worlds. Yet, in the midst of these divine signs, little Muhammad entered a world of hardship. Orphaned from the start, he was a child no one wanted to foster because he had no father to pay the wet nurse generously. Arab custom demanded that noble children be sent to the desert Bedouins to grow strong in the pure air and learn the clearest Arabic. Wealthy families sent their infants with gifts and promises of reward, but when the wet nurses from Banu Saad arrived in Mecca, every woman refused the orphan boy. "An orphan," they whispered. "Who will pay us? We need strong families with riches." One by one, they turned away until only Halima Saadia remained, a poor woman whose own child cried from hunger, whose camel was weak, and whose breast had little milk in that year of severe drought and famine. With a heavy heart, she said, "I will not return empty-handed." She took the tiny Muhammad in her arms, not knowing that she had just invited Barakah, blessing, into her life. The journey back to the desert was a miracle in itself. Halima's lean donkey, which had struggled on the way to Mecca, suddenly gained strength and raced ahead of the entire caravan, leaving others stunned. When they reached her humble tent, something even greater happened. Her old she-camel, dry for days, began overflowing with milk. Halima's own breast filled abundantly, and her weak child drank until satisfied. For the first time in months, the family slept with full bellies. The next morning, Halima's husband stared in awe and said, "By Allah, Halima, you have brought a blessed child." From that day, blessings multiplied. Their goats returned from grazing with udders, so full they dragged on the ground, while neighbors' flocks came back thin and empty. The land around their tent, once parched, sprouted fresh grass. Halima's family, once pitted, now thrived. Neighbors whispered, "Take your flocks where Halima's child goes. There is Barakah there." Muhammad grew peacefully among the desert winds, a quiet, gentle boy who smiled often and never cried excessively. But trials were never far. One day, when Muhammad was about 4 years old, he was playing the fields with his foster brother. Suddenly, 2 figures in white appeared, angels in human form. They gently laid the child down, opened his chest, removed his heart, and extracted a black clot from it, saying, "This is the share of Shaitan in you." They washed the heart in a golden basin with water from Zamzam, purified it completely, and returned it to his body. The angels then sealed the chest and vanished. The foster brother ran screaming to Halima, "They have killed my brother." Halima rushed to the spot and found Muhammad pale and trembling on the ground. He calmly explained what happened, but Halima's heart filled with fear. Was this a sign of jinn possession? Was the child cursed? Overwhelmed with worry for his safety, she decided to return him to his mother Amina in Mecca, even though it meant losing the endless blessings. Amina listened patiently to the story and reassured her, "This is not harm. Dear Halima, this is Allah preparing my son for greatness. I saw wonders in my pregnancy. Do not fear." Still, Halima left with tears, and the blessings in her home slowly faded as the child of mercy departed. Back in Mecca, young Muhammad lived with his mother, growing into a loving, obedient boy. But sorrow struck again when he was 6. Amina took him to Yathrib, later Medina, to visit relatives and show him his father's grave. On the return journey, at a place called Abwa, Amina fell seriously ill. She passed away, leaving her son twice orphaned. The little boy stood at her grave, tears streaming down his face, yet he did not wail or complain. He accepted Allah's decree with quiet sabr, patience that even adults could not match. Now, under the care of his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, the chief of Mecca, Muhammad found temporary shelter. The old man loved him dearly and took him everywhere, even to the Kaaba. But when Muhammad was 8, Abdul Muttalib too passed away. The child, who had lost father, mother, and grandfather now, went to live with his uncle Abu Talib, a kind but poor man with many children. Life became harder. To help his uncle, young Muhammad took up work as a shepherd boy in the harsh hills around Mecca. Day after day, he led flocks through rocky paths, protecting them from wolves and thieves, enduring thirst and heat without complaint. This humble job taught him immense sabr. Sheep are stubborn, scattered easily, and required constant watchfulness. Through it all, the boy remained calm, compassionate, and truthful. He learned to lead with gentleness, to be patient with the weak, and to care for creatures smaller than himself, qualities that would one day make him the leader of nations. Yet even in these lonely days, Allah's protection shone. While herding, Muhammad never joined the other boys in idol worship or mischief. He avoided lies, games of chance, and evil gatherings. People began calling him Al-Amin the trustworthy and As-Sadiq the truthful, titles earned through childhood trials. One dramatic twist came during a journey with his uncle Abu Talib to Syria. Among the caravan was a Christian monk named Bahira, who noticed a cloud shading the boy wherever he went. Bahira recognized the seal of prophethood on his back and warned Abu Talib to protect him from the Jews, who might harm him if they knew. This encounter revealed early signs of his destiny, adding mystery and divine protection to his young life. Through every loss, father before birth, mother at 6, grandfather at 8, endless poverty, Muhammad never lost hope or faith. His sabr was not passive. It was active trust in Allah. When others might have rebelled or despaired, he turned inward, reflecting on creation, developing mercy for the weak, and preparing silently for the greatest mission humanity would ever know. This childhood of miracles and trials, of blessings followed by separations, of poverty turned into lessons of leadership, shaped the man who would bring justice, compassion, and tawheed to the world. The orphan boy who brought Barakah to a poor family, whose heart was purified by angels, who endured loss after loss with unbreakable patience. He is our beloved Prophet Muhammad, the mercy to all mankind. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss more beautiful stories of our Pyare Nabi. Turn on notifications, share with your loved ones, and keep the love alive. Jazakallah khair for watching. May Allah grant us all sabr like his beloved messenger.